Welcome to Rays of Hope, where inspiration meets possibilities. Join us on this journey as we explore videos that illuminate the path to positivity, resilience, and success. Codependency is a term many people misunderstand. Often, it's wrongly tied only to relationships where addiction is present. You might think it only shows up when someone's struggling with substance abuse, but that's a common misconception. This video will clear up that myth. We'll explore how codependent patterns can actually form in all kinds of family settings and romantic partnerships. It's time to broaden our view and see codependency for what it truly is, a dynamic that can affect many different types of connections. What is codependency? A clearer definition. Many people incorrectly connect codependency only to issues of addiction. However, it is a pattern of behavior that goes much wider than that. At its heart, codependency means you rely too much on others for your sense of self-worth. It involves frequently putting someone else's needs before your own, and often struggling to set healthy boundaries. This usually leads to an unhealthy urge to control or fix other people's lives. When you are codependent, you often look for approval outside yourself. This usually happens at the cost of your own emotional and mental well-being. It is about an intense focus on someone else, whether they have an addiction or not. Signs of codependency beyond addiction. Codependent behaviors show up in many everyday interactions, not just with addiction. You might find yourself always trying to keep others happy. This is a classic sign of people-pleasing. It comes from a deep need for approval or to avoid conflict. Consider some of these common signs. People-pleasing. Do you often say, yes, when you really mean, no? You might agree to things you do not want to do to avoid upsetting someone. This behavior usually comes from a need to feel valued or accepted by others. Difficulty saying no. Setting limits can feel very hard. You might fear that saying no will lead to rejection or make someone angry. This makes it tough to protect your own time and energy. Feeling responsible for others' emotions. You might believe it is your job to make sure everyone around you is happy. If a friend is sad, you might feel personally responsible for their unhappiness. You could then try hard to fix their mood. A need for control. You might try to control situations or people to feel safe or secure. This could mean giving unsolicited advice. It might also involve managing another person's tasks. This is often an attempt to reduce your own anxiety. Low self-esteem. Your self-worth might depend heavily on how others see you. You may constantly seek approval and feel down when you do not get it. Your value feels tied to what you do for others. Fear of abandonment. The idea of someone leaving you can be terrifying. This fear can cause you to hold on to unhealthy relationships. You might also tolerate poor treatment just to avoid being alone. An intense focus on others' problems. You might spend a lot of time and energy trying to solve other people's problems. You may ignore your own issues in the process. This focus can shift your attention away from your own needs and feelings. Codependency in everyday relationships. It's more common than you think. Now that we have a clearer picture of what codependency looks like, let us dive into where it actually shows up. It is not just about severe addiction. These patterns are woven into the fabric of many daily connections. Think about the people around you, or even yourself. You might be surprised to see how often these behaviors surface in perfectly normal relationships. Family dynamics and upbringing. Codependency often begins quietly in childhood. Our family shapes so much of who we become. If a child grew up in a home where expressing emotions was difficult, or where boundaries felt blurry, they might start to pick up codependent habits. Sometimes, a child feels responsible for a parent's happiness. This happens even if the parent is not struggling with addiction. Perhaps a parent was emotionally immature, frequently ill, or often absent. The child might step into a caretaker role too early. Imagine a child always trying to cheer up a consistently sad parent. They put their parent's mood before their own needs. Or consider a teenager who takes on all the household tasks because an adult is overwhelmed with stress, not substance abuse. These children learn that their value comes from helping or fixing others. They might believe their own needs are less important. These learned responses can carry into adult relationships. Romantic and partner relationships. Codependency shows up frequently in romantic partnerships, often without any addiction in sight. It can look like one partner constantly putting the other's needs first, even when it means sacrificing their own well-being. This person might have an unhealthy need for approval from their partner. They might struggle to set clear personal boundaries. They might even feel incomplete unless they are with their partner. Consider a relationship where one person takes on all the housework, mental load, and emotional support. They do this because they are afraid of conflict or fear their partner will leave them. Another example is someone constantly seeking reassurance, believing their worth comes from their partner's compliments. These dynamics erode personal identity over time. They create an imbalance where one person thrives at the expense of the other. Understanding these hidden patterns is the first step to breaking free. Stay tuned for part 2. Thank you for joining us on this uplifting journey with Rays of Hope. Please comment, like, share, and subscribe to stay tuned for more videos that spark hope and empowerment. Until next time, keep shining brightly. Thank you for watching.